Welcome back. In our previous video, we used the project owner to shard our documents. For example, our architecture document, which was enormous, and broke it down into sections so that our Scrum Master can pull in the information it needs for a particular section, but not have to pull in every single document and kind of save you on some context window space. And let's go ahead and call our Scrum Master so we can start the development process of breaking this out into epics and stories and sprints. So let's go Scrum Master, SM. Let's go Starter Help and see what it has available to us. As you can see, it gives us the option to draft the next user story, which we're going to do based on our architecture here. So let's go ahead and do that. Scrum Master, and draft next story. So as you can see, it's reading all of our previous documentation and grabbing the correct first shards or the correct first documents of what it's going to build the first epic off of. As you can see here, it's scanning our documents and identifying the next story, gather requirements for context. For this, I would possibly recommend using a max mode just for this demonstration purposes. I didn't, but usually I'd recommend using GPT-5 with like max mode so it can truly think through all this process. As you can see now, I created a subdirectory called stories. As you can see here on the left side, it's going to start building those out. Created epic one, story one. Now it's asking me if I want to go ahead and run the checklist. Let's go ahead and let it run the checklist of Scrum Master. Run checklist. So as you can see, it went through validation. It's going to make this a little bit bigger so it's easy to read. So it's drafted Epic 1, Story 1, and this kind of goes over all that information. You can ask questions about it and stuff like that. But I wanted to go ahead and start creating the next section. It's also asking me here if it wants me to go ahead and update the current state so it can keep track of the state of different stories. Let's go ahead and tell it to go ahead and do that. Go ahead and apply the changes. So now I'm going to update the README and kind of update the status so that it can keep track of everything. It's kind of having an index and everything for all of this. So let's go ahead and let it create that. And I created a reports directory. So now you see it kind of completed that all. It's got a reports area and then shards area and then stories. So it's completed story 1.1. Let's go ahead and have it do the rest of the stories. I'm going to make this a slightly smarter model and give it more context window because I can see it's already eating 13% of it. So let's go ahead and tell Scrum Master. Now it's asking me if I can say that is approved or not. And I'm going to tell it to go ahead and draft story 1.2. Go ahead and draft story 1.2. So it went ahead and wrote the second story. So we can go here and look at it if you want to see what that looks like. So this is the second story, epic in the stories. So all of this is what will be handed to the developer agent, and they'll be doing all of this. It even has testing criteria. We can also look at the first one as well. The first one, it's kind of building the baseline, all that stuff. But anyways, continuing on. Let's go ahead and have it create the next story. And Scrum Master. Go ahead and create the next story. All right. Go ahead and do this for the rest of the stories, so you don't have to sit here and sit through all of this, and I'll show you the results after I have it generate all the stories. So you can see it's continued to build more and more stories, and I've told it to go ahead and draft more stories, continuing on its path. Recently I did 4.3, and I just told it to go ahead and draft the next story. It's continuing down this path. As you can see on the left, there's a lot. First one we've kind of seen earlier. It's got all these checkboxes of all the things it wants to do. Database schema, as we kind of sit here and go through all of the stories, you can kind of see how it kind of progresses. See which story we're on now. We're now at story 4.4. I'm going to go ahead and tell it to continue down this path. Next story. And I'm going to go ahead and have it draft the next story. So a little trick, say you're running out of context window here. In this one, we're not, but let's just say happenstance we are. We could actually close this chat and open a new one and then ask the Scrum Master, hey, where did I last leave off? Can you please help me resume with the stories that I left off so you're not using as much of the context window? So it's kind of a way to kind of reset your context window if you need to. It looks like we've now completed creating all the stories. As you see here on the left side, there's quite a bit of them. So, Scrum Master, it's asking if we would like to run a checklist across all the selected stories and apply refinements or proceed with generating an index of the stories. Go ahead and generate an index. Looks like it has now created an index of all those stories and what they cover. You can see here, and it's got a breakdown of all the documentation and how it kind of works. Let's actually go ahead and run a story checklist on all stories, please. So as we can see above, it's read through all of them, and it did a checklist and wrote a checklist.md. Go look at the checklist.md of all the stories, and overall, this is the current status of it. Okay, so in all, I think we're fairly ready to hand this off to the developer. It looks like it's wanting to see if we want to go ahead and open pull requests for these stories inside of GitHub. I don't really want to do that right now. We're making these changes. But overall, right now, it has broken down our architecture and everything based on all of our shards and everything into a good story and breakdown of everything that needs to be built in order. And kind of this is the order it recommends doing story 1.1 and then testing like this. Then after all those testings completed, then going over to story 1.2, doing all of these changes here, and then testing like this, and then moving on and so forth. So that kind of completes everything for the Scrum Master, and the next part we will go over the developing agent.